everybody, Gabrielle here. I am back, here to bring you a reading for the star sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising, for the season of Sagittarius. And when I tell you we hit the money, Temperance and the Magician is the overall energy, so we are tuned in. Oh, man. Let me see something. Just put these down. How are y'all doing? You ever get a really good nap in? Just like, just a really good nap. Yeah, the Magician. So we have you out here in your major arcana. We have the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. Two of the mercurial energies out here in their major arcana. Interesting, right? Somebody's... Gemini, are you trying to balance the flow in your life? The pouring out and receiving of emotion? Are you trying to rein yourself back in? I feel like you're trying to elevate whatever space you're currently in. If you had been in kind of a low vibration, I just mean a little bit of depression. Actually, I do. I feel a little bit of depression coming off the Temperance card here. Like, there's an attempt to harness your Magician energy and to pull this these emotions up to something better, to something more soothing, something more nourishing, something more healing. It's a true transmutation. Yeah. You have come through this rebirth. It's like you're on the other side of the secrets, right? Because here in the Temperance card, you see back here, it's similar to the imagery you see in the moon, but you don't see towers here. Now you see massive mountains, and then you see the path, right? And you, at the where the moon card, the water's pulled back. There's something missing. It's not quite reaching, and it's like whatever obstacle you might have been experiencing, Gemini, it's now been removed. And so you're able to pour forth. But you want this to come in slowly. I'm just looking at these little rocks here at the edge, and it's like you want to do it slowly, slowly, slow. As I keep getting just that. Very tempered, you know, just easy does it. So this water, these emotions trickle down the path the right way. So everything's nourished the right way. So you're not flooding an already beautifully green valley. You know, it's like your knowledge, your wisdom allows you to know that at the top of those mountains, right, there's snow. And snow melts in the heat of the day, right? And so there's water already over there that's trickling down. So there's no reason to rush and allow this to become some sort of torrent. Wow, Gemini. Sagittarius season is going to be very impactful for you, it seems. We're already in it. Yeah, you're enjoying this this newfound peace and tranquility. I really do feel that, like, I think it can be said of just about all folk, right? that at some point in time in our lives, we have experienced heartbreak. Something painful. Something that really left a scar on our hearts, you know. But it's like, I love how, look, see the swords, how it's like the sword of truth is pushing that central wound out. It's like, no, 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 get out of there. No, no more scarring. No, no, no. No more tears. No more loneliness. No more heartbreak. No more will you feel restricted. Yeah. Earth, air, fire, water. It's the emotions. It really is. I'm looking at the spread, and I'm looking at, even though I see 2 cups in the temperance card, and I see a cup in the magician's card, but and the star card has the pictures, you know, so there's all this representation of water without the water cards being present. And so I say that part is slowly easing. There's a moderation, a great deal of moderating yourself, and just being very, very mindful. I do like this, Gemini, right? The High Priestess and the Magician are out here next to each other. That's 1 and 2, you know? Anyway. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm drawing back over to the Temperance and Magician energy. I'm looking back. Yeah. The cups are here. The emotions are here, Gemini. You're just slowly sharing. Ever so slowly. But it is because of this old wounding. Something that should have went the distance with this Ace of Pentacles here, but didn't. It only led you to a place of restriction, or so you thought, you know what I mean? Like, the top row alone, that's 11 swords, so there was a betrayal. Yes, I'm sorry, Gemini, it happened, but I really feel as though that was the past. Like, I do, I feel like that's your former life. Maybe you're taking a trip to the mountains. Like, I got a lot of mountains out here. It is that time of year where people start heading to cabins, and hunting season for some things is still going, you know, so who knows? Yeah, I just think that situation that you were involved in prior just really did a number on you. It was supposed to lead to someplace very promising, and in the end, it hurt you. It taught you a major lesson. It did. Ooh. Why is that so blue? The swords are just uber blue. I'm like, why are they so blue? Y'all see how blue they look right now? Like, what the heck? Icicles? That's what they look like. Hey, if you're going any place and there are icicles hanging over your head, please be very cautious. Be very, very, very cautious. Being around, hanging under, disturbing any sort of sharp glass-like object that could be dangling over your head. Okay? Be smart about that. I feel like that's for whoever's going into the mountains. Be very smart about that. Anyway, moving back. Yeah. Aww. I don't even want to call y'all Jimmies. I've done some terrible readings with that name in there. You know, gummies. I'd rather call y'all gummies. Everybody loves gummies. They're soft and delicious. Shit. It's my preferred way of taking vitamins. I eat them. I take them because they taste good. With gummies, who doesn't like a Gemini? Although I do find it very interesting that you know, this is your opposite sign, and so I think this season is going to bring out some interesting turn of events for y'all, because it's literally your opposite energy. And so Sagittarius brings out very expansive thought processes, growth, it's revelations in a lot of ways. It's just some interesting things. And so astrologically, historically speaking, and not on an individual level, Geminis are known as the liars of the zodiac. The great storytellers, you know, duplicitous and dual-minded and shit. And so it ain't hard for a Gemini to tell a whale of a tale. No shade, no tea. I'm just saying, I didn't make it up, okay? I learned that shit this year. I was like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense. And I used to say the same thing about Virgos, lying-ass Virgos. It's the Mercury. Make you the gift of gab and just, you know, long-winded and dumb shit. You just can talk just for the sake of hearing yourself talk. And you may not perceive it as a falsehood, but it really is, so shut the fuck up. But, you know, they're just filling time. I really do. And look, that's that Mercury shit, which is funny, right? Because look who hanging out right there. I know I saw them. Uh-huh. Oh, yep. Yeah, okay. Remember how I said, I like how I saw the magician and high priestess sitting there? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like for some of y'all Gemini, you really have run across your counterpart, your divine counterpart. I'm not talking court cards counterpart. I'm talking major arcana divine counterpart. You know what I mean? And so this is different. This is a different sort of adjutant. Because I feel like that's exactly what this is, an adjutant. And that's why you're having to make sure, you know, it's like you've come full circle on this journey is what this feels like. Gemini, like you've stepped beyond, literally, just one step beyond the full energy and taking the leap of faith. And so it's crazy, right? Because we have some major jumping. And because you've gotten to this new cycle, I'm surprised the world isn't out here. But Ace of Pentacles, that's the gateway card, right? Because you've gotten back to this new cycle, you're back. You know some things. You get it this time. Like you in tune. Now you want to do things very, very, very differently, and I can't blame you. That's why you're okay with taking things this slow. Why you're okay with slowly allowing the waters to proceed down the path, to allow the emotions to rise up. That's the reason. You'll take one stone at a time out of the way so the water, aka the emotions, begin to trickle. And so it doesn't become stale and stagnant. Okay. Gemini, you've learned to go slow and steady wins the race. You decided you wanted to be the tortoise this time and not the hare. Now that you get a chance to start over and do this the right way, now absent this emotional baggage back here, now it's like all this insight. Now you know how to go after what you want confidently because you know better now. It's like, aha. It's the where's the spoon sort of joke, right? You finally got the joke. Like, you were ready for the punchline this time. You know what I mean? So it's like, no. If I want to enjoy this, I need the right implement. I need the right tool for the job, right? What kind of spoon you need? You need the big soup spoon. What? You need we got heavyweight. Like, what kind of spoon you need, right? But at least this time you're prepared for the punchline. Absolutely. And so now you're not you don't have to restrict yourself. Now you don't have to, you know, it's funny, right? Because this Eight of Swords is kind of like giving me mixed energy. In one sense, yeah, you're holding back and this, that, and the third. But I feel like that's because now you know. Dang, they ain't want to come up. The heat of the day, the sun melts the snow, right? And so you don't have to worry about that. That works itself out. Don't worry about that back there. Them emotions, aka the water, right, will reach where it's supposed to be when it's supposed to be there. You just keep doing what you need to do and continue on this path of healing. Do what serves your highest and greatest good. And I think you're finally really, really, really embracing this. I think it was a struggle for some of you. I do. I think it's because one of my better friends is a Gemini, and he be going through it, you know. Definitely Pollux and Castor, you know, super fun, energetic guy, but inside there's a very dark, brooding sort of energy. So, you know, and when he's in that mode, I'll be like, ooh, I catch you. You know, when you flip back. When you show me the other twin, you know, when you come out of this one, right, but I see that light within them. So it's not like I've ever really abandoned them type shit. But it's like, even when he's happy-go-lucky, right, I see that dark within him too. It's like, it's the nature of the beast. And maybe you had to come to terms with some of that cantankerous sort of energy you carry by nature. That wouldn't be a bad thing. And so, you know, it's like this Eight of Swords to me is almost like, it really is giving me Fool vibes. It's so funny, right? Because I'm looking at the Magician High Priestess here, and I'm like, yeah. The Two of Swords is the Junior High Priestess, right? So it's like, in Two of Swords, you see the blindfold on normally, right? But you'll see the person in the Two of Swords, either the swords are crossed or they're out extended, right? Depending on which set of cards you got. But here, it's like the lack of communication in itself is a type of blind faith. By holding back, by withdrawing, by, you know, taking a different approach. I know, but that's really what I see with the Eight of Swords there. It's like, it's taking a different approach. Yeah, to some, this shit look real jacked up, right? It looks precarious. It doesn't look safe to even be standing here. But the reality of it is, it doesn't matter how it looks to other people as long as it suits you. And if you want to stand in the floodplain at the edge of the tide, you know, tiptoeing your way with no, you know, just experiencing the sensation. Remember I said the lack of cups out here, like true cup cards. And so it's like allowing yourself to experience the sensation, to feel. Because if there's one thing the person in this card gonna have to do, right, it's using their feet to feel. Their feet for any sort of progress. And so it's like you're grounded in this. It's a true act of groundedness, this approach. But it all had to come from, again, pushing this out. The cold, hard truth. Oh, The cold, hard truth. Yeah. On why things just didn't, you know what I mean? I look at that Three of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. It wasn't supposed to. That's the hand of God outstretched. I feel like, Gemini, this was a lesson for you, a big one. But it's beautiful as it plays out, right? Because now we have that beautiful Ace of Swords, right? Another divine intervention, another hand of God sticking out, offering you this, right? This was the only way for you to actually, it's like, attain what it is you really wanted. I mean, truly wanted in your heart of hearts. Absent the pain, but not absent the lesson. And so it's like, with all of this, right? With it, dang. I do. I feel like you're gonna get new insight on yourself through Sagittarius season. I do. I feel like this is a very, very personal and cathartic time for you. You're gonna be doing some major healing work. Because I have 4 swords here, you know what I mean? And then I have the Star, another card of a healing sort of energy. It's also a card of great illumination. A card of purity and balance to me. It's also a card of divine blessings. Look at all the orbs. You might get some visitations. Gemini, like really, you should feel a lot of divine protection around you through this period. Like, I do. I feel like you really have some people in high places standing guard with you through this whole process. You really should say thank you. I'm going to say thank you for Gemini. Thank you for all the Geminis who got people in high places standing guard for them. Because this is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, you had to nourish yourself. This is going to be a time of great revelation for y'all. It truly is. It truly, truly is. Maybe for some it is just your own personal duality, you know what I mean? It's not a negative. You were given it for a reason. It's up to you to figure out the reason, right? The divine plan. But I do feel like a lot for some of y'all, what's going to happen through Sagittarius season is it really is a season of recovery. You know, Sagittarius are healers as well. So is Orpheus, the 13th constellation that people like to not talk about, but that's a healer. And a bunch of other things. There's a reason why they pulled that constellation, but we'll do that later. It's funny, right? Because the water bearer image shifts drastically through the tarot. See here, it's feminine, right? But in the wheel in the sky, right? The constellation is not drawn feminine, it's drawn masculine. But I think it's interesting because it really gives me more of like the world card sort of energy. Union of both, the masculine and feminine energies when I can see the star card. Almost like a hermaphrodite. No tea, no shade, just saying, that's just a balanced individual. But not in the physical form, in a spiritual form. Yeah, so much healing. So much revealed. Like, this whole period is going to be like revelation after revelation after revelation for you. I do. I feel like you're going to get a lot of downloads. through Sag season. I really do. I feel like it's going to be a time of research for you. It's going to be a time where you're reading more, where you're intellectualizing more. You're going to shift into a brand new headspace about this. And by shifting into a different headspace about this, it's like you'll be more receptive to coming together with your counterpart, is what this feels like. And not just your counterpart, with people in general. I feel like you might have been going through a period of even standoffishness. Yeah. You had the blues big time. Big time, Gemini. You were depressed. It's okay. But you're coming through it now. Maybe go for a swim. Take a spiritual bath. This blue is really jumping. Get near water. I think you resonate. You like water is really important to you. Get yourself to a body of water. Make yourself feel better. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, you were going through this crazy period of imbalance. For some of you, you might have even come to some information about you have been involved in a third-party situation. Listen, there's like 4 different storylines out here. You do the picking, okay? This wasn't like that for everybody. Most people got very straightforward readings. Like real specific messages. Wasn't even for like the general. It was crazy. Anyway. But I feel like you were involved in a third-party situation. And I feel like, again, I do. I don't know why, but I do. I feel like this is again. Because I'm looking at them 3 swords up there. So it's like, and it's like 3 of swords, Ace of swords, 6 of pentacles. It's like, yeah, man. Yes, sis. But I feel like that sort of pattern, even that is being revealed to you on why. And some of it, the Bible says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife nor husband. I do, Gemini. I feel a little bit of covetous energy coming off these bottom cards. And maybe that was the reason why, excuse me, you were getting yourself involved in these situations previously. You, at one point in time, believed it was easier to siphon a little bit from someone else who had more to give, you know what I mean? I'm not judging, but this looks almost like a sugar daddy sort of situation. Instead of doing the work for yourself, instead of going out and providing for yourself and honing your own skill set. But I think you might have learned this behavior with the 8 of Pentacles here. I do. I almost feel like this is what you knew. But all of this is insight, like, into yourself. Like, this whole season, Gemini is going to bring in some really profound insight on yourself. But it's all through divine order. Like, you are supposed to have this happen now. I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana, 2 ace cards out here, and the Hermit's on the bottom of the deck with the 7 of Pentacles. Right? And then look, 7 of Pentacles, Hermit, 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, and the Emperor. And then there's the Knight of Pentacles, right? And then there's the Tower, Ace of Cups. Yeah. This was all by design. It really was. Your emotions were out of whack. Like, you had to be sat down for a little bit. You had to be quieted for a little bit. You had to be shown. And that's what's going to happen. Excuse me. You're being shown. In some ways, the error of your ways. This season is going to be very, very beneficial to you. I think this is the season where you really start to self-motivate. You accept all of this is what this feels like. You just go, okay. It feels like you see the error of your ways. See, the scales are over your head right now. Excuse me. I feel like you are sitting in a period of judgment. I do. See how the two hands are out here? One is grasping, the other one is open. And then what? With the Ace of Cups, again, another offer. This is gentle. That is not. The Ace of Swords is not what I call gentle love. You know, that is tough love from the divine. Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups is gentle love. Ace of Wands, not gentle love. It's a force. They are here, assertive energies. Yeah. You're now shifting drastically, Gemini. You are now understanding how to balance yourself, your own personal masculine and feminine, the light and the dark. Because of this period of judgment that you're going through or coming through or whatever this is, like, finally able to see. I feel like you prayed. I do. I feel like you got down on your knees, right? And you started praying and asking questions to the Most High. And then they started revealing things to you. Like big time revelations. And see how the scene transitions, right? You see how you have the buildings here and right. By asking the right questions and seeking with the Most High how to balance the karmic scales, to see the error of your ways, you know, to show you maybe you were too focused on money, too focused on material things, whatever it was. You asked, you received an answer. And so instead of looking to other people to help you out of these situations, right? Instead of looking over there to see what other people are receiving and their blessings, you've decided to pull back your vision, so to speak. And you started focusing on the Most High, or you will, by the answers you receive. And you'll now start to motivate. And it's like, I feel like your answer when you prayed, you were told to show faith. Like to show action and faith. Which you don't realize, like, you're not, like I said, you had to blind yourself, right? Eight of Swords up here, you had to change your vision. Because you don't even see how wounded, right? You don't even see how damaged that person is. You don't see what they've actually gone through to receive these sorts of blessings. And the crazy part about it, right? It all comes from source. And it's like you're over here, or you were, looking at what this person's receiving. And it's like they only had a little bit more than what you had. But you was in that sort of lack, gimme mentality. And so you just couldn't stand the fact that this person was doing slightly better. This ain't for everybody. And so all you had to do was go to daddy, right? Go to the Most High. Go to your Heavenly Father. And it's like when you did that, right? When you attempted to make cosmic amends by questioning and asking of the Most High, they set you on this path here to learn. Like, big time. If you want what this person has, the reality is you have the potential to get so much more. So much more than what they even thought was possible if you just put your effort into it. And so, it's like your father said, I gave you a talent. I gave you a skill. Use the skills and talents I gave you to create the success you want. That was the answer to your prayer. Hence you showing up as a magician, Gemini. And so now it's like, okay. Now you are assimilating into the King of Swords, or excuse me. Interesting. You know, you could be a high vibe in Gemini now. You could be resonating with the King of Swords sort of energy. Although that really ain't your card, but whatever. This is the King of Wands. So now it's like you're going to take passionate action towards all the things that bring you success now that you got that answer. And I feel like you got the proof. The proof was in the pudding. I feel like it's paying off immediately following your divine guidance. You asked and you received. Bless you, Gemini. Truly. Alright, your reading went longer. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. They're greatly appreciated. Light and love to you all. You can find me at intuitivedownloads19@gmail.com or BusyBeeDigital on Instagram. #TellAllYourBusinessTarot. Bye.